First of all, Jerry, congratulations again for winning the MIAC title this year. Kind of tell me a little bit about winning that over the past over this weekend.
Oh, well, the season's obviously been kind of an odd season with the extended time of winter here. So, we kind of basically had 4 seasons. We had a spring trip for 9 games in 5 days, another trip for 7 games in 4 days. Then all of a sudden we played 11 games in 9 days. And then now we played 8 more games in the last 5 days. So it was kind of it felt like 4 quick trips, and piling games on. So, we knew going into the week that it was going to be a tough road at the end with 8 games in the last 5 days. But somehow our guys managed to get through it, and our pitchers did a great job. And none of them ever had more than 3 days rest the last 3 weeks. So a lot of guys can use the next 4 days off to kind of rejuvenate themselves a bit.
Yeah, obviously you guys were feeling what every baseball team out there was feeling with the ups and downs of, is it going to be spring yet? How are we going to get games in? How has your team adjusted to the constant moving and extra games that they have to play on a weekend, it seems like this entire month and a half?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is not knowing if you're going to play a certain day and when you're going to play. I mean, especially for our guys and their class time being missed, and they've got to certainly communicate with their professors and things like that, because we can't forget that they are still in college and going to school. As much as those guys would like to think it's just baseball season, but it's tough on them. But they come through it pretty good. And like I said, we kind of broke it down into kind of 4 separate, almost like seasons for us, with a bunch of games in 4 different time frames. So, but they adjusted well, and keeping up with the schedule as far as, like I said, their class time, and we got to give them a lot of credit for battling through a lot of tough decisions sometimes to be made about whether we're playing, whether we're not. When do I take my test? When do I get this done? And they've done a good job of handling all that.
Now, for the Johnnies, this is the first title in baseball in 20 years. You guys got to do that against St. Thomas. Tell me the feeling of getting that championship in such a drought that you guys have had the last how many years?
Well, that's a regular conference championship. And, we've won 3 postseason playoff championships in the last 6 years. And so we've beaten St. Thomas on the last day of that to go on to a regional. And, winning the conference championship is certainly the first stepping stone. It gives you that title, but it doesn't guarantee you anything past playoffs. So the biggest, our goal now is with a good overall record and stuff, we will certainly have a shot. If we don't win the conference playoffs this weekend, we would have a good possibility of getting in that large bid. But you never know about selection committees and stuff. And so the biggest thing is that you want to win the conference tournament, which guarantees you an automatic qualifier in the NCAA, and you move on to a regional. So that's kind of been the goal all the time, is get into the tournament, and we've done that 9 or 10 years in a row. And like I said, we won 3 of the last 6. But winning the conference tournament, the regular season, you are playing everybody, and so that is a grind sometimes. But it's tough to do. St. Thomas has certainly done it many times, and it's a tough thing to get done. And congratulations to our guys for having a good last week and winning 7 of the last 8 games to get into the number 1 spot.
Yeah, now you said you got a couple of days off. You got the conference tournament coming up this weekend. Kind of tell us the next couple of weeks, what's in store for Johnny baseball.
Well, we being the number 1 seed, we get a bye. There's 2 play-in games on Thursday in our Conference 16 tournament that will be single elimination for those guys, and then they have to move on to a double elimination tournament starting Friday, which will last through Sunday. Moving it into a 16 tournament this year did move our conference finals back into Sunday, which is not ideal for our league. We've been there a couple times when we've won it on Sunday, and one time we had to win 2 games on Sunday, so our pitchers had thrown 18 innings on Saturday, 18 innings on Sunday. We had to fly out to the Western Regional out in Oregon and then played Wednesday morning. So it doesn't help our conference moving this tournament back. But if you win that, then you go on to the regional. If you get into the Midwest regional, this year it's going to be hosted by Scholastic up in Duluth at Wade Stadium, which where we played a week ago yesterday. We played them up there, and it's a big old ballpark with a lot of history, and they did put a new turf surface on their field a couple of years ago, so similar to our ballpark. So that's the next piece of it, and that would start a week from this coming Wednesday for the regional. So those are kind of the next 2 weeks in front of us right now.
All right. And do you know who you potentially could see in the first round of your conference play?
Right now we do not. There's teams still playing today. There's about 3 teams that have secured a playoff spot. We will play the lowest seed that's left after Thursday. And right now the top 6 seeds, we obviously know we're number 1. We don't know who's 2 through 6 yet. Because there's games being played yet in the conference today. And after today's schedule is done, we will have obviously the clear idea of who 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are. And then 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5, and then we would get the lowest seed remaining after those 2 play-in games on from Thursday. But only thing we do know is that we know we play at 3 o'clock at CHS Field.
All right.
So that's what we do know.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck to you in the postseason.
Hey, you bet. Thanks a lot, Alex.